Right.
It's 2:02, Fred, so let's mosey. And
All right. I'm going to wait for this crowd to go in, then we're going to walk in.
if y'all have any questions of Fred while he's traveling, try not to interrupt him while he's talking with somebody, but feel free to slug in if you
Absolutely.
need to ask anything.
Absolutely. If there's something you want me to, as we walk through here, if there's something you want to spend a couple minutes with, just holler at me and we'll go back and look at that or whatever. And of course, if you didn't know, I'll tell you now, we're up here at Lakota at the Division 7 train show. It's going on tomorrow as well. 11 to 4, I believe, 11 to 5, both days. It's going to cost you $8 to get in. My plan here is to do a walkthrough. And as we walk through, just kind of show you some things that are going on. And we'll stop and talk to a few people that I think you might have some interest in. So let's wander on in here. I've already paid, obviously. It's been pretty full all day long since we got here. In fact, they actually opened the door a little early, not waiting until quite 11 o'clock to let us all come in here. Oh, look at these guys. Hey, I know them. What was that?
You never know who you're
going to run into. Mr. Gunther, how are you?
Doing fine. How about yourself? If it was any better, I couldn't hardly stand it.
There you go. All right, so this is the long haul in here. If you've been up here before, you know how this works. There's a long haul in here that takes you down to the cafeteria. Lots of sales going on the side, on each side down here. Gonna walk down here real quick. And this is usually where Sam Swanson hangs out, but he's abandoned his wife. She's here by herself. Where did you send Sam off to? Oh, to the layouts. Look at the layouts. That's cool. All right. And Cincinnati Division 7 does a flea market table. So Frank Koch actually manages this, and this is stuff that's on sale by their members if they don't have an individual table. And I'm actually going to not go all the way down here. And I can tell you that the dining car is, of course, their cafeteria in this building. Lots of stuff. They've got a couple of high schoolers running around with a little cart that will also sell you food on the go. But we're not going to partake of that. Instead, we're going to go to Freddy's when we get done here. But for right now, we'll walk into the big building here, or in the big room. Just take a look. We're not going to go down on the floor right now. If there's time, we will later. But you can get an idea of the immensity of this room and all the layouts that are running around down there. So you get a pretty good look there at what's going on. I guess there's all right, moving right along here. And you might notice the movement is a little smoother on the camera this time because I've got this gyro handle thing working for us. It's wandering here than it was before. Wander in here, around the corner. More trains. So we've got the Greater Cincinnati Garden Railway Society running trains in here. They've usually got it decked down in a Halloween kind of theme. Not always, but usually. So there's some cool stuff going on. I'll just kind of waltz around here a little bit. Oh, you guys are good. You don't have to move. I can move around the back, yeah.
Nice.
The Great Pumpkin Express.
Good idea.
And another layout over here. This is 3-rail. This is S-scale. Yeah, S-gaugers. Stuff going on here. And another layout over here. Gotta love it. Then over here, we have the T trackers, and at the T trackers, we have this ornery old man back here who he said he might want to talk to you for a minute.
Hi guys, I can't hear back from what you're gonna ask, but this is a layout that we put together on behalf of Division 10, Division 8, and some guys down here from Columbus. It's a pretty big,
I know this guy.
The two of us are pretty much doing the representation.
That's cool.
Renegade N scaler.
Lots of N scalers here. That's right. The neat thing I heard when I was in here earlier, because I checked with these guys, make sure they were going to be here, and they knew that I was going to come in and talk to them, was I was walking out and there was this one kid dragging his mom and dad saying, I want to see the tornado again. I want to see the tornado again. It's like, okay. We're going to go see the tornado.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
This time we got the back of it facing the front.
Yeah, I saw that.
And everybody's trying to figure out what the controller's doing.
We tell them to come back, and then they look, they'll come around, and then they see it. They also noticed Frank's Lego module too. So
Oh, I didn't see the Lego module. Let me see that.
Yeah.
Where's that down here? Oh, yeah.
This one's got an automatic protection circuit here so that every 3-4 times, all the lights will change inside. But that's a hard to find thing, all these little tiny Lego.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Another one that's new is over there, Cecil Hested's.
Cecil or Carl?
Cecil. Hested. From Division 10.
From Division 10, okay. That's the one with the windmills and so forth?
It's a Dutch seat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Built the boats.
Yeah, I see that. In the canal, yeah. That's pretty darn cool. Great. All righty. I think we're going to wander on. Anything else, Bruce?
Oh, those are the new ones.
Okay, cool. I love the Legos.
Yeah. Kids love it.
I know.
Kids love this section.
I know. All right, we're going to wander on. Thanks, guys.
Have a good rest of the day.
You betcha. All right, let's wander out here. Division 7 has their company store set up over here. So if you want to buy some Division 7 tchotchkes and so forth, they've got everything you need. All right, let's wander out here. See if I can get around. Yes. All right. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Hey, I recognize that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to be in Louisville next month?
Yes.
Hey, we're talking the Louisville guys right here.
Oh, really?
Yep. You know that guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
He better
You guys
be.
got a
We've
big
got
table set up
tables
here,
for
don't you?
him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to wander on.
Okay.
You bet. All right. Hang on. We're moving out here. Past some of these sales tables. Get if there's something you want to look at, just holler at me. But there's another room back here. Oh, my goodness. I heard that. With vendors and the like. Go. Come around here, and we're going to go down and visit with Dave and his lovely wife. Just give me a minute down here, and he kind of sort of knows we're coming. This is a new vendor, a new dealer that I had not seen before, and he's still working full-time job, but he's also started this business over here. And we'll wait until these guys clear up for a moment, but I'll show you some of the stuff that they're doing. 3D printing, laser cutting, and the like.
Yeah.
Quick look here.
Actually,
Few things.
A bunch of these right now.
And then if we go down here, see some of the other stuff he's doing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm back. So let's flip around here real quick. That's one of my guys, and there's probably about a dozen guys back in Louisville watching this today, so they can kind of sort of hear you if you speak up. That's right. I don't think Dave has a problem. So Dave, tell us all about what you got here.
Well, Leaving a Mark Engraving is my company, and we do just about anything and everything no one else does, seems like. Laser cutting of different items from wood veneers to acrylics, laser board, We even do our own custom kits with an L shed and a corn crib. So we've been doing this now for close to 7 years. We have about 200 items that we currently make. One of the more, I guess, one of the more items that people are really looking for are acrylic signs in scale.
Oh yeah.
So we have PRR signs, vintage signs, and regular signs. So we do take throwdowns too. If you got something out there that no one else has and you can't find it, contact us. We can do it for you.
Call Dave. He
Call
will
Dave.
take a look at it and give you a price, give you an estimate, and talk about what might be happening there.
Absolutely, we can. And we have wrapped lumber loads in about 26 different manufacturers
Oh,
as
wow.
well. And we also carry a very full line of vinyl cut and peel stickers.
Oh, yeah.
With a high definition print jobs on those, and those can be weathered with a little alcohol rub. So they're very easy to manipulate. No concerns about having air bubbles on it because the micro etched on the backside as well.
And those are around the corner. I'm going to show you guys before we leave the booth here. But when he was talking about the wraps, the lumber wraps, this is what he's talking about here.
Hey,
See
but
him?
Fred, are those the lumber loads? Are they available without the wrap?
So we had a
Fred, can you hear me?
The question from Russell is if these wraps are available without the wrap. What's
Well, I
inside
saw-
here?
It's actually what's inside is a 1/4 inch acrylic, and yes, they can be available. We can make different sizes based off of what your needs are, and we can supply the wrap that goes along with those on special order. Originally, these started out as being available as a kit, and they did not attract attention. So we ended up wrapping them ourselves. We've sold over 3,200 of these in the past 3 years.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So my fingers are very talented.
I do early 50s. So in other words, the loads would
He does
not.
early 50s.
Okay.
Yep. In fact, I'll tell you what'll help. Let me come around here and you'll be good with this. And we'll just talk this way, point down there, then he can hear a little bit better. So Russ, go ahead and ask again.
Well, I do early 50s. So in other words, any of the lumber loads would not be wrapped, but just to the left of the trusses there, it looks like you do have loads that are, would be natural, like in the early 50s.
Yeah, the wrapped lumber loads, the core of them is not something that would display well. That's the reason they're wrapped. They're made out of just a block plain acrylic, white acrylic. So they really have no real appearance to them until they are wrapped. They're not like a wrapped piece of wood.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
There's tons of other stuff here, man. So, all righty. Any other questions for Dave?
Nice
Before
stuff.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. That's why I wanted to come back, man. Thank you. I've got a couple cards, and I'm trying to talk him into coming to Louisville in November.
We're seeing what our schedule looks like. Right now, I'm a little undetermined, but if not this year, maybe next year.
There you go.
Or we're
Love
gonna
to
better
see it.
hurry.
That's right. Yeah,
If
that's
he
right.
wants a table.
So just as a quick here, this is what he was talking about with the signage. So these guys are, as you can see, 4 of these pieces, same design for $1. So if you want 4 railroad crossings, signs, or any of these others, open up another box here. We'll go to the fancy schmancy ones over here. So we've got yellow stop signs. You guys can see those. We've got my era red and white stop signs. Oops, there we go. See those? And deer crossing and railroad and fallen rocks and all that good stuff in there. And then there's more and more and more and more. And when I produce this video, and you guys know I'll produce it tomorrow probably, I'll put a link to the website on there as well. So there we go. Cool beans. And there's more. But wait, there's even more. There you go. All right. Any other questions for Dave? All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see ya. You bet. Oh, watch out. All right. More vendors, more vendors, more vendors, more vendors. I bet you recognize this guy down here at the end. I'm going to just jump in there and harass him for a minute. Hey, Kevin. So it's the Division 8 guys.
Oh, hey, Ron.
Back in Louisville, we have a gathering today. So it's all online. We have maybe a dozen or so guys on. So say hi. And
Hi. How's everybody? And sorry you got to look at my ugly face. But
well, that's okay. They're looking at everybody. So, they're going, man, the weather's great up there. Maybe I should come up tomorrow. That's right.
Go.
That's right.
So,
But you're still in town.
going down.
Same hours.
Yep.
Doing open houses.
Hoping
Running trains?
Today we'll have trains running.
A week from the day, have
Yep,
trains running.
first one of
Okay.
the season.
So that means they can come to the Division 8 meeting at 2 p.m. and then run right over and see you guys because you're going to be open until,
not only that, but Southern Indiana's having their
and they're having their show as well.
yep.
Yeah.
So,
It's all trains all
Yeah.
day next Saturday. What a
you
deal.
might see a few real ones out there if you look for them.
Well, that's
So,
true. All righty, man. We'll see you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Sure.
Bye.
Yeah, Michael Reed.
Woo. All right. Wander around here a little more and flip this around. Going back in the back here. And the tool guys are here. I'm not going to wander down there unless someone has something they see that they specifically want to see in detail. But more dealers, more dealers, more dealers, more dealers. And of course, as I said, the train guy. Oh, excuse me, the tool guy. All right. I'm going to wander out. Because we could certainly take up the entire gathering time with the Lakota show, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think we've got other things to do. Russell's ready to give his presentation. I know that. So I'm going to walk back out of here.
It's 2:20, Fred,
And-
so we're good on time.
Okay. Well, we still got the long hallway and another room to go to. Hang on here. Come on out here.
Walk fast, jog.
It looks like they've expanded that show. They've added a room or two to it.
This is pretty much what I've seen in the past, Mark.
Huh.
Pretty much what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah. If you guys that were at the NRHS meeting last night, if you remember, at the end of my talk, I talked about one reference, and this is the only reference I actually talked about last night. And if you remember what I said, the retail price of that is, what a deal for that book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get some deals up here. And you can visit with a lot of people too.
If I didn't
And,
know somebody who had one, I'd want one.
Well, there you go. You can always borrow mine. Lots of stuff in here. There's the Division 3 guys. How you doing? Here's Rick Zimmerman, Superintendent of Division 3. Rick, how are you? How are you, Judy? This is Louisville. So we're having a meeting today, and I came up to Lakota to do a live feedback to the guys in Louisville.
Hello, everybody.
That's right. And
Take my mask off.
there we go. There we go. All right. So we're just.
Oh, put it
wondering to
back
see-
on, please.
What was that?
Put it back on, please.
Put it back. Oh, put the mask back on, Rick. He says.
Tell them thanks.
That's his one joke of the week. We'll see you guys.
I like it.
All right. And the open loads guys, and they've been at our show before. And of course, all the trees down there as well. All the foliage. A lot of O scale, S scale, a lot
Kevin
of tin
Jones.
plate. What was that?
Kevin Jones just walked by.
Oh, did
Yeah. Yeah. Was
Kevin?
that
Oh, I didn't see him. I
the
was looking here
foliage
and there.
guy? Was that Paul Hester from Indianapolis?
That is
Maybe, I don't
Paul
know.
Hester.
That's one of our vendors, gentlemen.
But there's Kevin.
Yes. Hello. I
Hey,
bought too
Kevin.
much stuff.
Did you hear what Kevin said? He says, I bought too much stuff. Bye, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin was in the door even before me. My goodness. He was running up there to spend his money. So we're walking down. We're still not at the last room down here. It's a ways down here. Good stuff.
This is basically just a hallway you're in.
It is a long hallway, yeah. So, I know this guy. There we go. This is the Louisville guys. Sam Swanson. Hello, sir.
Hey, Sam.
Okay, they said hi. About 3 voices said hi. All right, we'll see you, man. Thanks. I did warn most of these people we were going to do this, but that's cool. Yeah, it's a long hallway walking down here. So there's up above, there's this catwalk that goes into classrooms on that side. That is not open, obviously. Hey, I know this guy too.
Hello.
Hey, Cecil.
Yeah,
Hey.
They say hey Cecil. I don't know if you heard him or not though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how we doing on spending stuff?
I got some more to go.
That's all right. All right. Good to see you, man.
Be sure you spend your whole allowance.
Yeah, don't spend your whole allowance, he says.
Okay, I'll try.
There you go. But you can see down how far this hallway goes. But it really is a hallway with clinic off to one side and other things, and then those 2 gyms in here. And of course, we got to have lockers. You probably all seen the Tri-State N-Track. I'm intrigued by a couple of these modules along this side, especially this one where these guys are. I'm just gonna jump in here real quick. So this one, you've got this streetcar going on the top. And then as part of the layout, we've got, get this arranged right. It is cool. You've got the subway down here, which is just part of the regular layout. And then you've also got this display here with, supposed trains that are going and so forth. Oh, there goes one right there. I guess that's a nonstop train.
You know what?
Whatever.
Correct.
Pretty cool stuff.
That is nice. Very
It
nice.
is really nice.
Something different.
Yep. All right, we'll wander in here where there's even more vendors. Oh, Mr. Tip to his left, the PRR area. And this is the Cincinnati Northern Group. I'm doing a
Perhaps he's
live
going to the
broadcast back
dining car.
Louisville. We're having a meeting today. Yeah. What was that, Ron?
Perhaps he's going to the dining car.
Perhaps he has gone to the dining car. That's right.
Oh, like they have an Oscar Mayer car.
They
That's
do have an
nice.
Oscar Mayer car. That's right. So pretty cool stuff. And this is a nice, really nice layout.
This layout in the Milwaukee show took first place structures.
Hey, hang on.
This layout is the Milwaukee show in what, 80, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s, took first place structures.
Did it really?
Yes,
Well, it's pretty cool. It's been around for a while then.
a day or two.
A day or two. All right, thanks. So pretty cool stuff in here. They were running a Doodlebug earlier and all sorts of great stuff. Let's scoot along here. All right, let's wander on over this way. Oops. Go down here. And a lot of Cincinnati streetcar railway stuff. There's a lot, just a ton of booksellers and memorabilia stuff from railroads and so forth in here. So these guys were at Indy Junction 2022. This is the Havoc group, HAVOC, and you can kind of see it on the t-shirt there. This is back in Louisville. We're having a meeting and we came up to the train show, so we thought we'd do a live feed back to the group.
Welcome
Absolutely.
to the train show. This is Havoc. We are a modular.
Hang on a minute. You know what? I'm going to flip this around
All right.
so that you can talk to them.
Hey, welcome to the train show here in Cincinnati. This is Havoc, a Fremo-inspired modular layout. We were at the Indy Junction back in May. For those of you who might have journeyed up to Indy Junction, we're in a different configuration here. We're in a G shape, and we will be running timetable and train order operations up here. Probably have one start up here in about an hour from now.
And you guys will be here all day tomorrow as well.
All day tomorrow.
That's right. So if someone wanders up from Louisville tomorrow, they said, hey, I want to run a train.
We'll hand him a throttle.
Did you guys hear that? If you wander up here tomorrow or today and say, hey, I want to run a train, they'll hand you a throttle. They'll keep an eye on you, of course, especially some, I'm going to leave them a short list of people that they really need to watch. But yeah, it's a pretty cool layout. Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to take just a quick tour here.
Hey, Fred, what does Havoc
Steve.
stand? What does Havoc stand for?
What does Havoc stand for?
Havoc stands for Hocking Valley and Ohio Central. But the locals, you know, they didn't like the way the railroad serviced them. So they flipped the A and the V around and got Havoc because they felt their lives were havoc having to deal with Hocking Valley and Ohio Central.
And what scale is that, Lance?
It's HO.
Okay, just look bigger.
Yep. It looks bigger. Everything is bigger on TV, Steve. These two modules, if I remember right, this module and the next one are Sam Swanson's modules. Okay. Pretty sure. So I know I'm not going to get the detail on this because I know I can't do it with the setup that I have. But do you see all those lily pond, all those lily ponds down there? All the green spots
Yep.
down there.
Yep.
If you look really close, you can actually see frogs down there.
Who cares about the frogs? How about the largemouth bass?
Well, no, he didn't put any of those in there. And again, I can't get too close in here. It's about as close as I can get. But if you see that log that's sticking up here, hang on, get this all oriented again. This log that's sticking up right here,
Yep.
right on the top of it, right. This log that's sticking up right here,
Yep.
kind of hard to see.
We
If
can
you
see
look
it.
at the very top of it, there's a monarch butterfly on there.
If it's Sam Swanson, the largemouth bass are in there.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Let me see if I can do that a little better. And again, I just can't get any closer to it than that, guys. There you can kind of see it. I can kind of see it in the screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, cool. And if we look around here enough, and I don't remember exactly where there are, but there's a couple snakes and a couple other things on these two modules as well. So watch out when you come near this thing. It might bite you. Oh, there's one right in there, in that log, on that stump. All right, moving right along here. I'm actually going to go around the other way, and that pretty much is. I've shown you all the square footage of what's going on here. Obviously, they've got a ton of room, which is really nice. Being able to do this in this facility. They've been here a number of years, and I think most of you know that. Tons of vendors, tons of layouts, tons of people here as well. So is there anything specific you want me to go back and take a look at before we shut down this side of the gathering today?
Anybody want to see anything? Nobody's saying anything, Fred.
Nobody's saying anything.
I guess,
All right. Well,
I guess you've conducted the perfect tour of Lakota.
well, I don't know about
train show.
that, but this is how it's been most of the day here.
And with your new device, I'm not even ready to throw up after your presentation.
Well, good. I'm glad. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up right here then on this nice farm scene on this on the N-track layout, and I'll see you guys back in Louisville.
Okay, Fred. Thanks so
Fred.
much.
All right. Have a great day, guys. We're going to Freddy's now. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, that's it from Fred. So before we let Mr. Russell loose, since we do have a few people have joined us since we first started, just a few announcements here after Fred's presentation. Don't forget, as Fred mentioned, next Saturday night or next Saturday afternoon, same time, is our monthly meeting. And Bruce DeMare will be presenting, be the presenter with a program about signaling his new layout. He might touch on some other aspects of building his new layout. I wouldn't doubt. So you have that to look forward to. Don't forget, today is the last day at midnight to turn in your steam locomotive for the monthly contest. 3 pictures plus your contest entry form. Don't forget. Should have reminded Kevin Jones because we haven't seen anything from him. And don't forget, next Saturday also, before the show, you can run over to the Southern Indiana train show in Jeffersonville and take a look at what they have to offer. And don't forget to purchase your Christmas party tickets before they're all sold out. They're selling like hotcakes. You can order, best way to order is you can order right out of the Wednesday information update. Or if you can't find that, want to order some tickets, send the division an email. We'll send you a link. It's not available to the public, of course. And speaking of train show and sale, don't forget, November 12th, Division 8 train show and sale. We're looking for help, volunteers. If you have some help for us, we'd love to have your assistance. You can once again email the division, tell us that next Saturday's meeting you'd like to help. Or if you don't want to do any of those things, come to the show and we'll find something for you to do. And with that, Russell?
Okay, so last month, our good friend Jim Petro and I went to the this year's narrow gauge convention, which was up in the Seattle Tacoma area. And you might be saying like, well, Russ, you do a standard gauge. Why the narrow gauge convention? And one is I've been going to these for a good number of years. They have some fantastic modelers. And if you think about it, most of the time that the guys who are doing the narrow gauge, it's takes place in the early 1900s. So a lot of wood structures. Most of the cars were wooden. So a lot of scratch building that had to go on there. The other thing is they have many different vendors than what we're used to at either, say, where Fred was today or any of the NMRA conventions, whether they be local or national, where there's just a bunch of different dealers having detail parts. And granted that probably a fair amount of them are in the ON30 scale, but they still bring HO and some N scale detail parts and everything with them. Tools, Jim and I picked up some unique tools, not that they're just limited to narrow gauge, but again, just some different vendors. And the other thing, a lot of different scenery products like stains. I think maybe years and years ago that the company was at one of the NMRA national shows, but for the most part, you don't see like the different wood products and stains that most of these narrow gauge guys need to do for their equipment and so on. And many different clinics and speakers, more than what we're used to, again, just in the MCR or the even nationwide. So you get a lot of different clinicians giving that. And for the most part, good many of the layouts that are on tour are standard gauge, which you'll see in just a minute. What's different this year from other years is that I was told that there was approximately 600 attendees in Seattle versus back in 2017 in Denver, there was about 700. I noticed, to my disappointment, that there were fewer vendors than what I've seen in past years. Probably, if I had to guess, even a month ago, the gas was still $5.15 a gallon out there, and of course, if they came by car or airfare, that was high. So, and I'm sure, being on the West Coast, that a number of different vendors and companies that were maybe, say, in this area or in the East Coast were not going to spend the time, money to go way out on the West Coast. And probably for the same reason, unfortunately, there were fewer contest entries to this. But what I'm going to show you, I think you'll be still pretty happy about. So let's start the tour. This was one of the modulars that when you came into the showroom there. This is at ON30, and I don't know if it shows up on your screen very well, but you can see a whole bunch of detail that went into this. You know, bear coming out of the hollow tree there, so on, and of course, I had a lot of guys like some type of shop, a machine shop or so on. And this was an ON30, an excellent one. And if we go a little closer, you can really see that the person or persons that did the modeling of this is just excellent. You look at the bench here with the drawers. I mean, everything around here looks like it's been used for many years. I mean, the grime and everything, I think, is just excellent the way they did it. Another shop. This was another ON30, but again, you can look around. You can see the grinder, the vise and everything. You know, the calendar. Spent a lot of time putting in all the different detail parts that you see around this. Just excellent modeling. Again, another shop, but if you've had the chance to look at this as much as I have, you see even like the saw, the wooden handle on it, the hammers and so on, just looks so realistic. Just superb modeling here. The steam engine that is powering some type of drive and so on. But if you kind of look around like this, just the details, the filter, the governor, seems like we have just the right amount of dirt and goop around this and rust. Here's a lumber mill. Again, I'm not sure how much detail shows up on your screen, but you see a log that's just about ready to go through the blade there, and all the wood chippings off here, some of the junk and stuff evidently left over from who knows when, and just even the concrete supports here, footings, that just seems like they do such a great job of putting just the right amount of weathering and so on to make it look real. You see, this is a nice scratch built head here. Did an excellent job of that. This is a G gauge scratch built structure that was obviously in a clinic, and it's too bad that obviously I'm taking a picture of what was up on the screen, so it really doesn't represent a lot of the colors that look real. But if you look around this was all scratch built. The meter, the details on the old gas pump, if you look hard here, um, the steps are showing a lot of wear and tear, and it all looks just very, very real and natural. So a lot of nice, I'll say that later on, that the clinics, although a lot of the clinics are geared up to, say like out west, narrow gauge type stuff, but this was a excellent clinic on working with wood structures and so on. There was another, I can't remember the clinician's name, but he gave Take Me Down to the River. He was out here in Seattle, and just a few weeks before that, he was at the National in St. Louis, and I think Barb Soward stepped in on his clinic. So they get around. Okay, let's go on to the contest room. This is a G gauge locomotive, and you can see how nicely it's weathered. And a lot of you might say, well, yeah, he's got a big locomotive to deal with. They can really put the fine touches on it, and you would be correct in that. But when you think about it, something this big, you can't hide a blemish or maybe a mistake like we can in HO or N. So it really stands out there. A little closer view here, and this is one thing that when Steve Lasher goes ahead and paints one of his locomotives, either for himself or for me, that's on the layout. But one of the things that Steve does that a lot of people miss when you're painting is like the cylinders down here. Anything that had a cylinder, whether it's an air pump or the main drive cylinder, he paints silver or a very light gray to represent that. And you can see here, it's something very simple, but very effective on how they do that. Again, one of the things that Steve usually adds, and I don't know the guys that come over that to do ops, that he puts the a hook to bring the bring the water scoop down. But this guy went one step further and put a rake in there to, I guess, get some of the coal down. So again, a lot of detail these guys put into it. Here's an ON30 locomotive. And again, just some of the stuff that they go to, that the asbestos wrap pipe coming off the dome there. Some of the front end, just again, the valve and the rivets all look very, very realistic. Here's a caboose, a work caboose that was in the contest. And you can see, pardon me, all the details that the modeler added. A toolbox up here, some of the, probably the oil can and something on the one of the deck boxes, a re-railer, a whole bunch of different picks and axes, so on, that they've been using. And maybe Steve would know, this is some working engine in here, and I don't know what they might do, maybe sharpen tools or something like that in there for that. But again, you can see all the detail on the inside that this modeler did. Here's a unique module that somebody made, and I know it's going to be kind of hard to see on your screen, but this pour right here is about an inch deep or thick. And it's just, if you look at this while I'm talking, that all the detail that this modeler made on just the pour for the water bed there, the beer cans, old nets, so on and so forth. I mean, it was just really wild. And then you get to the to the dock here, and if you really look around at everything that he has done is just really, really superb. But just a real fun model to see. Okay, like I mentioned in the beginning, that a lot of the layout, depending on the area, are standard gauge. And here, of all places in the Seattle area, we have a modeler who models Monon. And this was an S scale, a fairly large layout. And the owner went to IU, and I don't know, can't remember what got him out to the Seattle area, but he still has his Central Indiana ties and models Monon. Another thing that he did that I've always wanted to do, but it's really hard to pull it off effectively, is a fall scene. And I think he did an excellent job, as you see here. He also had a number of different railroads to interchange with. So if you see the tracks going around here and this boxcar in the back, this was one of the interchange stations. And look at that, what a nice guy that has a New York Central interchange. So, I mean, he's tops in my book. But if you look at the building, that obviously is scratched, that how much detail, it's kind of a simple building, but a lot of the parts that obviously are pieced together to make it look like it's corrugated, and the power lines and so on. So the loading dock. So again, excellent modeler and a nice layout. And if we go back the other way, that here was a top-notch N-scale layout. It's only about 50% completed, both scenery and trackage. But what he did have done is superb, with working signals, I might add. And it is a multi-deck layout. So I think it's a 3-track helix that he had that kind of works out very well, that you can get off at any level, that the way he had it set up. So pretty nice there. This is obviously a modern layout. That this was a electronics guy that and you can't tell by unfortunately the still here, but if you look, every one of the road barriers here had an LED, and you see this one's off and this one's off, and they flashed just like they would on a real road construction there. So pretty nice scene when you saw it in person. All right, this monstrosity was not at the convention, but I just thought I'd throw this in for grins and giggles. This is in one of the suburbs of Reno, and this is Jim Petro here, and this is his friend, who is also named Jim. And the friend Jim started with Southern Pacific and retired as an engineer with Union Pacific. So this is a barn type building from his house. If most of you have been into scale reproductions, this is probably just as wide a scale and a little deeper. But where the two gyms are up here is Donner Pass. And this, which will have I'm standing right here looking the other way, is Rosedale. And this is where all the reefers got iced before they went over Donner Pass. So if you look at this, I hope it shows up on your screen. The ice dock goes all the way down here, and there's one on the other side. So Jim says one side of this he can do 40 cars, so 40-foot cars. So it's quite an undertaking when he has an op session, and obviously he has a whole bunch more to go. But if you have an HOA that will let you put a big barn in your backyard, you could do something like that too. So anyways, if I've whetted your appetite for maybe going out to the narrow gauge convention sometime in the future, next year it's going to be in Denver. I would pass. Jim and I are passing on that just because, like in Seattle, the traffic was just atrocious out there, and that's why some of the they decided to limit the clinic slots, is so that attendees could take the time to get out and see some of the layouts on tour. You know, there was a number of them that Jim and I wanted to see, but again, it just ran out of time. So 2 years from now, Pittsburgh. So we all know Pittsburgh and get around. And then in 2025, St. Louis. So again, if you want to see some a little different convention and different modeling techniques, I highly suggest that. I gave this spiel to Fred, and he and Barb went out to the one in Minneapolis in 18 or 19. So it's a well worth your time to do it. So as Sun
Russell,
said, yep.
Russell, on that subject, can you remember what the fee was to attend the convention?
The what, Ron?
How much moolah to attend the convention?
Yeah, I think it's 125.
Reasonable price for such an event. 4 days long, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That ends my tour of the convention. So thoughts, suggestions, questions?